Hello, everyone. Welcome to another lab. In this lab, we are going to do the challenge lab, which is mobile hardware support. Here is the scenario. You are a junior IT professional at a small startup company. Your manager has asked you to prepare the marketing director iPad and notebook computer for an upcoming conference that she is attending. While working on the notebook computer, you notice the integrated Wi-Fi adapter is not functioning. Complete the following on the iPad. Let's do one by one. The first thing that it mentioned to us that we need to do is turn off airplane mode and connect the iPad to corporate wireless network. So it clearly say do this because that is absolutely what we need to do in order to connect the iPad to network, right? So in order to do that, first we have to turn on iPad because seems like turn off. So we just press the power button, and as you see here, it turn on. After that, we have to go to the setting because like always, everything that you do in mobile device, when it comes to the network or any configuration, it should be inside setting feature. So we have to go there, and the first thing that we need to do is to turn off airplane mode. As you see here, it turned on. So you just press the green button, and then it should be turned off. So after we turn off that, you can able to see that it's not there anymore. So at the beginning, there's airplane mode. There's no connection. Once we turn off the Wi-Fi, the network signal is show up. Then it say connect the iPad to the corporate wireless network. So in order to do that, wireless means we are talking about Wi-Fi. So we have to go to the Wi-Fi. As you see here also, Wi-Fi is turned off as well. So we have to turn on that feature in order to see any available network. Once we turn on that, as you see here, we have the corporate Wi-Fi is available up there. So then we have to put the passphrase, which is at corp nate where secure, and then enter. So as you see here, it says the right mark, and also we can able to see there is the Wi-Fi signal is up there. So that means we are successfully done with this part. So then we have to move to the next instruction, which is turn off Bluetooth. It doesn't say why we need to do that, but it is good for security purpose because if you don't really need it, there's no reason why Bluetooth is on, but actually it's already off. So as you see here, even though this turn off the Bluetooth, uh, it's already turned off. So we just turn off that, it's already off. And also turn on passcode. So in order to get into passcode, so you have to go to the touch ID and passcode. So you have to make sure you turn on that. As you see here, turn on the passcode. So if you turn on that, it will ask for the PIN number. So it's 1542. So you have to say yes, and then it will ask you to confirm again. And you say yes, you can just enter. All right, so we added that. As you see here, it asks you to turn off if you want, but since we already turned on, we don't need to do anything. Then we move on to the next instruction, which say configure the iPad to require a passcode after 15 minutes of being idle, which means after 15 minutes of not being used. So we have to change that from 1 hour to 15 minutes. which is more safer. I mean, it still is not really ideal. Safe is good to be maybe like one, I mean, at least 5 minutes. That's the good one. However, since the instruction is say that it's okay to put on 15 minutes, it's way better than 1 hour. All right, so after that, it says configure the iPad to erase all data after 10 failed passcode attempt. So we have to go back here, and once you go down here, you can see the erase data, which is actually say here, erase all data on this iPad after 10 failed passcode attempt. So you have to turn that feature and then you have to say enable, right? So that is on. So that means we successfully do that. Now we have to make sure we configure VPN setting on iPad for future use. It's a future use, not now. So keep that in mind. So in order to get into VPN, you have to go to general and you have to go down to VPN. It's depend on the type of Apple device. Sometimes it mentioned with something else, but this one is clearly just VPN. So you will find that. Then we have to configure. So we have to add the configuration and then we just follow the given detail. The VPN type is PPTP instead of L2P or IPsec. We have to just use that. And then the description is Office 2 VPN. We have to type that in there. Okay. Office 2 VPN. And the server is given to us as well, which is not the right IP address. That's a 182.8.56. Okay. And then the account is M Brown. So once we got that, the rest is very much leave as default. And after that, you have to make sure that you hit save button. So as you see here, they leave the password field blank and all other settings by default, so we don't have to do anything. Now we are moved to another instruction. Complete the following on Office 2 lab computer. So which means we are done with very much the iPad. So we have to go to Office 2. So we have to go back to Office 2, and then we have to click on laptop, which is Office 2 lab, and that's where we are. But in order to get, let's see, depending on what they say, we have to might get into the hardware part, but let's see what is instructions say. On the laptop, install the fastest USB wireless adapter from the inventory. So that means we have to go back to the office. Then we have to click on, go back to Office 2. Here is the laptop. And then we have to go to storage. And actually, we have to go to the network device. And we have to look for different type of Wi-Fi that we have here. That's the Wi-Fi network adapter. And very much we have to turn this one to the back side and then make sure we gonna connect somewhere down here. And like I say, the way you know is depend on the which one have the current. So they say on the laptop install the fastest USB wireless adapter from the inventory. So the way you know is which one is the faster. Very much the latest one. So if you start, maybe you can go over and then as you see here, the USB dual, ABG and BG, the AC. That is the one that I think that is more current one because it's like including including N and AC. That is the current one, so I can plug that into one of that USB. So I believe that is what we need. And then on the laptop, configure power saving option to increase the battery life as follow. So customize the plane turn on the screen after the setting and do all that. So let's go into our laptop now. Instead of we have to do that through the setting. So if you are confused, so we have to turn it to the back and then click inside, and we have to type setting. And if you go to setting, and you have to go to the power option, you have to go to the power. Once you get in there, you will see the power and battery. So you just turn it on that, and it say configure the power save option. How we can save the power? So where we can able to get there? How we can this not. All right. So you have to click on the screen and the sleep. Okay. So the first one say customize the plan to turn off screen after 10 minutes. So instead of on the battery turn off screen after 10 minutes when the battery is power on the battery power on, turn off my screen after 10 minutes. Okay. When plugging in, turn off my screen after 10 minutes. And then it's customize the plan, put the computer sleep after the computer, put the device to sleep after when plugging in. Still, that should be so all this should be happen. The saving option includes the battery life. This we have to change this one to 30. And what else? Use the best power efficiency. So that is the power mode. We have to put that one in best power efficiency. And yeah, very much that what it is. Let's check if we are do anything wrong. We can go back and check here. So as always, let's check our answer here. What's going on? As you see here, everything is correct. We got 100%. That's all for this lab. Thank you for watching. See you in next lab.